Welcome back, everybody, to Crush Improv Plays D&D. Joined tonight by everybody, all the Crush people. That would be Al, Jordan, Dan, Christine, and Brooke, and me, Andrew. So, prepare yourselves for massive gifts because everybody enjoys the gifts. Is rolling. So, when last we left, y'all were in a bit of a fight down at Molak's ship warehouse because you were helping Nicholas to leave and getting your settlement of black powder. And then who else would like to recount these details? Boy, I don't have to tell the entire story.
No, gosh, that's not your job.
We told the gnomes to go. They left the bar that we were in. We went down to the water to meet them to exchange to do the payment. We gave them 2 platinum pieces.
Platinum bars.
Bars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then as we were doing the exchange and helping them roll their barrels into their ship, we were attacked by a giant octopus, which we killed.
With chitinous beak.
Which we killed.
And arms.
And then we went and bought these magical items that we were hoping to buy.
Yes.
And I believe we were going for a long rest after that.
Indeed you were. So, let's just let that happen. If you have hit points to recover, if you've got spell slots you want to recover, do all that. Yeah.
I'm going to roll 2 public portents.
Oh, look at that. Let's have it. Winners,
oh, right. I forgot
one.
about North Star.
You forgot that
North Star.
It's your favorite die rolling virtual tabletop.
I swear.
And
They have it's the opposite of karmic dice. It's cruel. All right. I've got some for sure failures that we can force on our enemies.
I don't know if it matters, Andrew, I'm not on this map. But I think we're changing the map anyway. So I don't see Tergar.
Well,
I have some really bad news.
yeah. You're no longer with
It was better that way.
No,
it was a hard life.
We'll go back to the old Salt Marsh map there because that's fun. So, yeah, you're back at Anatolia's house, I believe is what the name of the place. Anatolia's house.
Where we stay.
Where you're staying. And yeah, so basically the night passes without any kind of event and you have your new duds. Is there anything you want to do in the morning? Like what would you oh, the chair recognizes Glondar.
Thank you so much. It's me, Glonder. What do I don't know. It's been so long since I've received any damage. What do I roll to bring my hit points back? Or if it's a long rest, it's full anyway.
So, yeah, for a long rest, everything just refreshes goes back to tops.
Okay, terrific. That's all. Sorry to bother everybody.
Not a problem at all. In a short rest situation, you'd be rolling your hit dice, but we're not doing that.
Okay, perfect.
So the next day is the eve before the festival of impending flurries, or whatever they call it around these parts. And there's a light dusting of snow on the ground. There's a chill in the house that is slowly being overcome by fires in the hearth, and you gather for a morning repast that Jenkins has set out in the main room. And there's probably some coffee alternative nearby. Woo! Juices of various kinds.
Tip Jenkins very well. We very generously give him a tip.
Who would like to do that? Is Norman doing the tipping? Norman of the no money?
I mean, I'm going to suggest it, and I'll pitch in. But okay, fine. I got this one, Jenkins. This one's on me. Jojo, you've got the next one.
Excellent. How much would you like to tip him?
Let's see. Gold money bag. You know what? I'll give him one gold piece.
You know what, Jenkins?
I don't have any change. Oh no, hang on. Wait, I do have.
Whatever Norman gives you. But you can't accept what Norman gives you.
Well, that's very generous of both of you. And he doesn't refuse. he just.
Why the sudden urge to tip Jenkins there, Norman?
I really appreciate his level of service, and I was really hungry. And I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do.
I'm
That's
just
very
waiting
sweet.
for somebody to offer to double what I'm tipping Jenkins. Figured that would come instantly.
Apparently, the party is a bunch of cheapskates, apart from Joe Jondron.
Nim just is like, she's had better service elsewhere. She likes him.
You gotta save money to make money, boyos, and that's how I'm loaded.
I don't know. Just rubs me the wrong way.
The money is disappeared, and then shortly thereafter he takes his leave to let you set out for what your day shall be. Now, we at one point had a list of things that you could be interested in doing, but the last thing that the town council had offered that you could do, that you accepted a contract to do,
I hear in the background.
No,
so
it's actually
quietly?
not. I was checking. I was like, is that her? But it's actually our upstairs neighbor. I'm
All
like,
right,
she's hanging out in her crate like a good girl.
maybe we're back.
Sometimes
We're
a good
back for
girl.
now.
Oh my
Let's
god.
say that we're back for now.
She is baby.
entirely possible that we're back. Excellent.
She's baby.
All right, so our options, Andrew, were the sea folk, the sea elf folk.
Yeah, you had
Visit
an
them.
interest in tracking down the sea elves. But the lizard folk have told you where the Sahaugen are, because they kicked them out of their ancestral home.
Right.
So when you had infiltrated the lizard folk lair, you had learned that this was an older lair that they had created.
So were you like, oh man, they're at the lizard people. The next step is going to be the pirate people. We're like, all right, and off to Grazit we go. And you were like,
No, that I don't want to dictate where the story goes. That's you guys' job.
We were visiting the sea elves to find out more information on the Sahagin, right? Is that why we were going there, guys?
Well, yeah, we're mad at the pirates are the ones that are pushing around the lizard people, but the pirates are they also pushing around Saltmarsh?
Yeah, there's potentially launching. We're worried that they're launching an attack on Saltmarsh. I think that's why
Like
the
that
town
octopus.
council.
When you say pirates, do you mean the Sahaugen, the shark?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not pirates.
Why do I think they're pirates?
We had a pirate thing very early on in Saltmarsh.
And did you call them shark people?
Yeah, that's literally kind of what they are.
Okay.
If you want to have a
like really evil, right?
well, your experience with them has been not pleasant.
Right. He was the guy in the cell next to us.
Correct.
He was
So-
very unpleasant.
But the town
I
council, I,
don't
believe,
remember
is
that.
has given us this boat
Yes.
because we wanted to visit the sea elf people to do some reconnaissance to find out what they know. I think that was, or was there another reason why we were going to see the sea elves?
I don't really remember, Dan. I think that you may have thought they knew something about Lady
I'm
Tolliver,
looking at
but
the notes
I
here.
wasn't
I've
going to
got the
rain on your
notes open,
parade.
so-
Need to call out in their native tongue underwater and they will send someone to greet us. So how come we want someone to greet us from the Sagao?
No, that's the sea elves.
Okay, because I have notes in here on June 5th that are wrong. Then
I think that should read.
we need to find the
Seals.
intentions if we can figure out if the Sahaugen intend to attack Saltmarsh. The Sahaugen live in an undersea settlement at the southeast of the Saltmarsh, need to call out in their native tongue underwater, and they will send someone to greet us. What is the wrong part here?
I think
The
that was
sea
sea
elves.
elves. So we should replace Sahagin with
We
sea
need to
elves.
see if the sea elves are going to attack
No,
Saltmarsh?
everything was
No.
correct right
Oh,
up
okay.
until the greeting part,
No.
because that was about you had been interested in going to visit the sea elves,
And
and
do we know if the sea elves have any relationship with the...
Yeah, they're at war with the Sahagin.
They would be able to give
They're
us
mortal enemies.
Oh,
Remember the sea elves? We had that little boy there that you guys
that
hated.
nobody could remember the name of?
yes, nobody.
Who?
Exactly.
Classic JoJo.
Mortal enemies. Okay. Well, if we're going to launch an attack against the Sahaugen, I'm never going to say it right,
Shark
we
people.
should see about the lizard folk and the sea elves like joining us, or are we just going to do it as a party of 5?
Well, I think the lizard folk are willing to help. I mean, it's their home that we're trying to free. They have a vested interest in us getting them out. I think the sea elves also maybe, if I recall correctly, might have had some information on Lady Tolliver. Or at least I think I wanted to ask them if they had any information on Lady Tolliver, where she has disappeared to.
So the lizard folk are under the impression that the Sahaugen are bloodthirsty conquestors. Like they want to basically expand their grasp over the entire coast.
Okay.
So they think that an invasion into the lands of men and elves and all the rest are imminent. The townsfolk are not convinced because this is all news to them, and thus they are hiring you to basically do some recon to see if there's any truth to this story.
Okay.
I mean, if it's true that there is a legion of Sahaugen in this place, to take them on by yourselves might be foolhardy.
Okay.
But hey, you're adventurers of great power. Maybe it's no big deal for y'all.
Okay, so the town council wants us to see if they're really a threat, and they'll give us 200 gold pieces each to either prove yes or no they're a threat, or...
Yeah, they want some eyes on the situation to know what's going on out there.
Okay, well then let's just go and pay them a friendly diplomatic visit in the name of JoJo.
Classy. All right. So, as you are having your conversation, you hear a knock at the door, and Jenkins comes in a moment later and says, "Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. The town councillor Anders Solmar is here. He's wondering if he could have a word."
He's my buddy, right?
Yeah, yeah. You guys go way back.
Hey!
Shall I send him in then?
Oh, yes, of course.
Excellent. I assumed that greeting is not for me. I shall be right back. And he goes and he gets Anders.
It's like when you wave at somebody who's not waving at you.
Hey!
Sorry, it is Anders Solmar. So he comes in and he looks around at you both, and behind him at his side is his second in command. No, not the right word. His attendant, Scaran Wave Chaser, and the two of them come in and says, "Well, you do look like you've settled in just fine. Do you know anything about something that happened down at Malok's warehouse last night?"
It was a
Yes.
massive octopus. Oh, sorry, Jojo. I just spoke over you and your buddy. I hope that was all right. I'm just as eager to see them.
No, please. There was an octopus.
Octopus. Wow. And was it responsible for that damage to the warehouse? Malok is fuming over that.
Oh no, I did that. By accident, of course. But it was to protect everyone from the octopus.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm sure that'll all be taken care of. I'm sure there are some funds available in the town's purse to pay for those damages. Do you know why this happened? Have we not had any kind of invasion by aquatic species like this. It's very
Well, as the
rare.
climate changes and the sea temperatures rise, it's driving octopus out of their natural habitats. pushing-
John, that is not quite right.
Oh, yes.
The oceans here have been perfectly fine. We don't have massive factories pumping carbon dioxide into the waters, and climate change is not an issue in this globe.
Anders looks at you and says, "Is that Elvish that you're speaking right there?"
We have reason to believe that perhaps this sentient being might have been coaxed to attack the coast.
Really? Well, that sounds like a bit of a threat too. Do you think that the Sauhaugen might be responsible for that?
Well, we won't point fingers or fins or arms until we know for sure. John, no pointing fingers.
Right. Okay. Well, and the gnomes have departed. They seem to have given up their suit and taken their strange powder with them. I can't say that doesn't seem to be much. It seems to be a bit more than a coincidence to that.
We agree.
Right. And he does that thing with his nose that says, "Say no more." Well, I'll just pass on what I know to the town watch, and maybe they'll have a few more guards on the coast just to make sure. Not sure what they would do if another giant octopus were to come ravaging, but anyway, I was really, in addition to that, I was wondering about your preparations for your mission. Is there anything that you require, anything else you require?
Do you have any bilingual folks in the world of Sea Elvish?
No, I don't believe any sea elves take residence here in Saltmarsh, not to my knowledge at least.
And nobody,
Perhaps-
on visa or, doing one of those sabbatical things.
Yes, well, they like to keep to themselves, being more creatures of the sea and not much on the land. I can't say I have met any personally. It's kind of legendary, really.
All right. That's all we needed then.
Very, very good. I should say also, Sauriv has the lizard folk representative, the ambassador from the lizard folk, has indicated that he has 2 lizard men that could accompany you. They, of course, know of the lair that they once occupied and have been evicted from.
Accompany us to their lair, but not to the sea elves.
Yes.
Yes, I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to bring an enemy if we're attempting to do it diplomatic.
I don't think.
Need-
No.
Joe
the
John,
lizard,
does
the
that
lizard
seem...
folk are not enemies with the sea elves.
No. I thought we were going to the Sahaugen.
We need to go to the sea elves first to get intel on the Sahoygan.
Sahaugen. Sahaugen.
And to do that, we need. Wait, was that true that we need to have? We need to speak their language to be greeted by the sea elves.
Yes, but I have the magical means for us to ensure
They're
that we
elves.
can
Don't they just
communicate.
speak Elvish?
No, they have a very special dialect.
Sea Elvish. Wait, Nima, are you saying that you speak Sea Elvish?
I can with the help of my magic spells, yes.
Okay, great. So we're gonna go to the Sea Elves' home, and you're going to summon them with your
Yes.
tongue.
Yes. But then once
And do the lizard folk, would they want to come with us there, or do they want to wait until we go meet with the lizard folk to then storm the Sahoygan?
Well, that's it. I just don't know if bringing the lizard folk to the next step, which would be to the Sahaugen, and if that would be helpful.
Well, if we encounter another octopus on the way to see the sea elves, we may want some red shirts to accompany us as ballast.
He says,
Those
listen, if you think that you need to speak with the sea elves to gain additional information about Saugen, that makes sense to me. I know nothing of them myself. The lizard folk seem to have some information, but they seem to have a bit of a chip on their shoulder against them, so maybe that is suspect as well.
Biased.
Perhaps, but I have no idea whether they know anything about the sea elves or how to find them or what their relationships are like. I suspect you would need to talk to them about that.
Now, just to recap, the Sohoigan have taken over the lizard folks' ancestral home, and we have a suspicion that they're going to do the same for Saltmarsh. Is that correct?
That is what the lizard folk have been telling the town council.
But we haven't heard anything from the sea elves at all, even our former friend who somehow disappeared. The young
I think we sent him home.
Yeah, he did his bit. No, they have not sent us any kind of embassy. I believe they perhaps do not approve of us walking.
Anders, what are your dealings with the lizard folk been like? Do you trust them? Do you have a good relationship with the lizard folk?
I do. I will tell you that the town council is somewhat split upon how they should be dealt with. There are the traditionalists that think that they are not more than beasts, and that trading with them is not in our interest. However, myself and some of the other more progressives think that no, they have a deeply nuanced and ancient society. They may not practice as we practice, but they live just the same as us, and they have shown us nothing but peaceful intent. And well, your very actions have proven to us that they are victims of a great injustice. And you convinced us that they needed our help, and thus we have traded with them to arm them. And they have our support for any defense that they may require. Now, I don't know if the town would be convinced to mount some kind of a vindictive assault back on, to take back their lands. I believe that may be a lizard folk problem. But certainly we have forged a good alliance, I would say, and trade between our peoples is prospering. Well, I'll just leave you to it then.
Oh boy, that was good. All right, well, shall we go to the sea elves?
To the sea elves.
To the sea elves. To the sea elves.
All right.
Oh, Anders, thank you for the exposition.
He gives you a backward wave as he goes, and a gift pops up as he does so. So, yeah, that one, perfect.
Yeah.
So you head, I guess you go to your boat down on the wharf.
What's the name of the boat?
And the boat is the Modulus.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And what
The
kind of
Modulus?
boat is this, Andrew? Can you describe? This is the first time we see this boat.
Yeah, it's not as grand as the Lazy Shebok or the Wyvern. It is a single-masted schooner. It's got one enclosed area. Otherwise, it's pretty much completely open. So it is not special. It looks like maybe this is a very working boat. Definitely a
like how many people could be aboard such a boat? Like, what's the? I'm not a boat guy. Like, are we all comfortable on this thing, or could there be a crew on top of that?
Well, normally it takes a crew of 4, and then it has some room after that for cargo, passengers, that kind of thing, supplies. If you have more people on board, you can spread out the work, but 4 is enough to crew it. And the crew, it has been sort of coming and going. The captain there is waiting for... because you booked this yesterday, and Moloch said that he'd have a crew ready on the eve, but then you got distracted by buying stuff. So they've essentially been riding high on the city, on the city's coffers, waiting for the signal to go. But other than that, they're sitting around waiting. Like, actually, one of the crewmen is on board, sort of just keeping tabs, and the others are probably over in a nearby establishment, probably probably the hoof and mouth.
Hoof and mouth.
The Hoof and Mouth, one of the more economical taverns. So he's there coiling rope, and there's a little campfire on the coast and he's off the pier, and he goes over to it occasionally to warm himself up. And the crew are the people who work at the warehouse. Normally they work on boats. Today they're working on repairing the roof, which had some sort of unfortunate accident. And you cat holding people. Yeah. So you arrive, and that's the scene. What would you like to do?
Hop on board and sail
Let's
away.
sail. Glonda, Captain Glonda, you're in charge.
I get behind the wheel.
I run to the bar to grab a few quick road pops before we go.
Mhm.
Nice.
You
All
need
right.
me to jib anything, Glonda? Is there any
No jibs necessary. This
any tacking you'd like me to do on the ship, Glonda?
hacking?
Tacking.
Sure. Hard to starboard. Ready the main lines.
Wait a minute, you should know all this from your pirate days.
Get to the front of the bow and put your hands up like you're Jack Dawson. Let's go!
Oh, wow, that's good.
All right. The crewman, as you guys are loading up and gets the drift that you are who they've been waiting for, he says, did you just want to take it, or did you want the extra hands? I mean, our time's been paid for, but if you just want to go on your own, we'll happily just hang out in the Hoof and Mouth.
No. Their expertise could be useful. Are any of you fighters?
Not to... No.
All right, you can stay.
Do you
All
bring
right.
your own food?
Yeah, we've got some supplies tucked away in there. Enough at least for a couple of days.
Would we have to pay you?
No, we're paid for. The city's picking up the tab.
Come on.
All right. So he rushes off to get the guys from the Hoof and Mouth, and meanwhile Norman's up at the bar scoring like 6 takeaway
With the little
tankards.
plastic lids on top. So
Yeah, that's right. Just duct tape. And they scurry back to the boat. And yeah, you head off into the bay. And I think in a previous adventure you had some rough directions of where to go to get to the
Yes,
seals.
we did.
And we know I have an impeccable memory.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Then whatever Glonder says goes.
Well, why don't we get a roll out of Glondar? Let's get a perception roll. That's going to be your navigation captainy type thing.
All right. So far, so good. It's going to be 10.
Good old 10. All right. It takes a while. You're maybe it's because you're tacking against the wind and the wind is changing, and then you're becalmed for a while. You don't make a great impression with the crew. Maybe it's a new shift. Maybe you've got your nerves or something. But it's not an easy sail. But I bet maybe twice as long as it should be to get there. About 6 or 7 hours. You think you're in generally the right location for where you've heard it said the sea elves have their abode beneath the waves. And one guy says, I think it's too deep to drop an anchor around here, but we could, if you're wanting to go down there, we could probably just tack back and forth for a while.
Yes.
Tergar, you should just go fish yourself and get in there. Just
Well,
transform
And
the
I
fire.
have,
I can do that.
And I can make the rest of us use water breathing. It's good for 24 hours.
I mean, I'm happy to stay on board.
But what if we're all going to go down and get to know them? What if they have drinks?
All right. Okay. Fine. So
What if they have cool bubbles that are filled with special gases that when you take them in, you get fun? That's enough. I've
Yeah, I don't need to shapeshift, by the way, if you're doing that spell. I'll save that hit point for...
Okay.
Could you
And then I'll-
shapeshift into somebody more handsome?
Impossible.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Emily. That's very kind of you.
Just Josh and Terragar.
That was
My
mean.
bad. Sorry.
That's really mean.
I'm sorry.
All right. So we're getting a water breathing spell being cast. That's what I'm getting.
Yes, I'm going to do.
Would you like me to use one of my spell slots for that, or you've got a lot more? I think.
Oh yeah, don't stress it. It's all good. So we'll use water breathing on all of us, and then the tongues only works for an hour, but that's okay. I can cast it a couple times if need be, and that's so that. And I mean, I could cast it multiple times, to be fair, if we wanted more than one communicator. I mean, JoJo is our diplomat, so it doesn't have to be me who is the speaker.
I'm a fighter now, though.
You're no longer a diplomat?
Well, my character sheet says fighter. I'm a fighter first, diplomat.
Okay. Yeah, so I can, because the way tongues works is that you can hear any language spoken to you, and when you speak, any creature, or I guess individual, I'm assuming, right? Oh, good God, it better be people. This creature. We are creatures.
Yeah, it's a D&D technicality, but
Oh, thank goodness. That knows at least one language and can hear them, understands what they're saying. So
I don't mind. How many spell slots do you have?
I've got 4 level 1, 3 level 2, 3 level 3, 2 level 4, 1 level 5.
So why don't, just because if something were to happen and we need your spells, why don't you let me cast the water breathing for everybody?
Okay.
And then that way you're saving a spell. So I'll cast water breathing.
Okay.
And then you do the talking stuff.
And like, do we want someone else, like I said, to be the talker? Nim's not charismatic at all. If she has to, she's not. I mean, I feel like let's give it to Norman. Let's make Norman be the one to.
Yeah, she hasn't talked very much today.
I mean, I'll do it.
Are we sure that we want? Actually, I'm getting cold. This is scaring me a little bit.
I've got +2 persuasion.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, who has good persuasion? Just in case. I don't know that we even need to persuade them. I think we're going in. Yeah, I've got -2, so it's.
I have
not
terrific
me.
persuasion. I got a +9.
Whoa. Maybe it needs to be our bard. Oh, what's our fighter have?
Just +7.
Just.
Whoa,
Oh,
You
so
still
good.
have it.
you still got it.
But I also have a +7 intimidation.
Yeah, but the
Also
Prezeli.
Oh.
Look,
But
I
we
think
don't.
we're going
not.
in.
Our plan isn't to intimidate information.
I
out
think
of
we're
them.
going into friends here. I think they're going to be happy to see us. Prezeli or Prezel.
Well, they might not be
Prezzari.
happy to see us, but we're not going to be enemies.
I think they're going to be happy.
Well,
We
I
saved
I will
Prezzoli's
bet
life.
you 1 gold piece that they won't be happy. And
All right, I'm taking you up on that bet.
Okay.
I think they're going to be happy that we saved Prezel. I'm looking at his name.
what was it?
What?
Ragosi.
Terragar, can you transform into a seahorse?
Hezreeli.
that Wanda can ride into town to make like a grand entrance?
Israeli.
I don't think we'd need to. Israeli's here. He was
Not
our
about-
friend.
It's not about need, Dan. It's about what's flashy and cool.
What do you want? A dolphin?
He wants the
Dolphin would
seahorse.
work.
But yeah.
I can do a dolphin.
But-
Don't do dolphin.
Unless that's going to waste energy.
I
wanna-
lose hit points for it, but
Yeah.
What do you want, Glenda?
I'll walk in like a team player. But you owe me a dolphin ride.
I'll do a dolphin ride.
Well, next time you're a dolphin or shark or something cool like that, pardon the squeaking, all of us having fun if you can hear it.
Oh, I can totally hear it. It's awesome.
I thought that was Kenny outside my door. Okay, that's
There are
No,
any
this
number
is-
of dogs that
There are
can be
so few
responsible
squeak
for that.
toys that we allow in this house.
For good
It's
reason.
a shock whenever she picks one up. She's not a big toy grabber, but this time she is.
All right. So
Let her do it.
just as an aside, water breathing lets you breathe water. It doesn't give you any ability to like fly through the water. So if you are going to go down there with your
Okay,
armor
all
and
right.
stuff,
I'm turning into a dolphin.
well,
Turning
you're
into
fine.
a dolphin. Everyone's happy, and it actually serves a purpose.
Well, but for everybody else, if you're going down, well, I'm looking at Joe John specifically. If you're going to go down there in like your chainmail, then you were going to sink like a stone and have some fun getting back out. So,
Turgar,
Well, I have my
it
mariner's
serves a
arm.
Oh,
porpoise.
And you got this is my mariner's armor. This one for like swimming.
boy.
it does, in fact, yeah, that is exactly what it is for. Cute. So I think with mariner's armor, actually, it's like a big life jacket. So it's the opposite problem with mariner's scale armor.
Ha! Can't swim down.
You would have tricky time swimming down.
Right.
So, I mean, the obvious solution would be everybody just doesn't wear armor if they've got it, so they can swim more
Okay,
comfortably.
skinny dip. We skinny dip. And
We skinny dip.
and
We
that's-
skin
and
dive.
we hold hands while the dolphin like trains it like a train, brings us
That's
all
a
down to where we
no-brainer.
need to go.
Like you're all holding on. One person's holding on to my tail, and the other person's holding on to the other person's ankles, and like a train like that.
Yeah.
I'd say holding onto your dorsal fin because you need that tail.
I love
We
this.
wanna get
Let's
some
go
velocity.
nude. I'm into it.
Are the sea elves nude?
Doesn't matter.
Classic. So, going once,
Okay,
anybody
I'll settle for loincloths.
loincloths, the bare modicum of modesty.
Yeah, and we'll wear her little
Yeah.
like slip that she wears under her things so that she's got that modicum. But
Excellent. I'll assume you could probably bring down a knife or something if you want to go armed, but otherwise, are you trying to bring anything with you? This,
I mean,
not
ninja's
that it's
good.
going
We
to
should bring a
matter.
gift. We should bring a gift.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
oh, excellent. Let's see. What do we all have?
What's useful to people
I've got
underwater?
cut quartz still that I haven't used, as well as 4 teeth from 1,000 tooth.
Mm.
I have ball bearings.
I have what every sea elf wants: the key to the city of Orlane.
No, yeah.
I mean, you're not giving that up for anything.
What about they might like? They might like. Well, I could give them my ball bearings and sling. I don't use that anymore. I'm gonna give. You can give them the little. No, that sucks.
Dean is
doesn't it?
waiting to show us a gif. I can just like tell it on your.
No, she's squeaking so intensely. I can't stop laughing at it. It's so bad. She's killing it.
This is why we do not have squeak toys in this house.
She only picks it up when I'm
They're the
on a
best.
call.
Of
That's
course.
what's so funny.
I don't really have anything but money to give them. And I
Well,
don't know
maybe
if
the
that's-
4 teeth from 1,000 tooth is kind of a cool
Okay,
symbolic
hold on a second.
thing.
Andrew,
hmm
can we do what would that be? A history check to what we
Sure.
know of the sea elves and custom greetings with the sea elves? Would that be history? Would that be
Yeah.
I would go with history for that.
Can
sure.
I roll for it? I have my +9.
Oh,
Well, I don't know.
Go ahead. Oh my
Sure,
god.
if you want.
And I'm not
That's
going to trust
insane.
the dice just a
You're
second.
not going to trust him? You don't
Oh,
trust him?
dang, I got a
See?
5.
See? You
But
should have trusted him.
+9 is 14.
Do you want to roll on North Star just to see what you would have
Oh,
gotten?
the odds are. Mm.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Oh, wow. The
I'm gonna roll
likelihood of getting
2 just
higher
'cause I
than a
have a
5.
+3. Just
Okay.
to see here.
Very nice. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess you were both a little bit asleep on Sea Elf class. What was your total you got? With,
14.
14?
Mm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're familiar with, like, you know of their existence. It's not like a giant mystery or something. But
Mhm.
as for like their practices and what they respect and desire, you're not as in tune with it. You know that they do have a complicated arrangement about how they live underneath the water. Like they create whole settlements down there, and but you don't know what they value per se. Like you don't know if your society would translate to theirs.
And are they water-breathing elves? Like their
They are.
society is entire. They don't live in bubbles like the Gungans.
No, but they can live above water as well, just for a short time. Like they
Does
can
anyone
breathe
else
air,
know
but
anything?
they prefer to
Do any
drink
of
water.
Man, our animals are just absolutely on fire.
you have a
I stole Olive's toy.
history knowledge?
Probably for the best.
J. Joe, Norman,
What do you need,
Wanda.
Dale?
Do you have any history knowledge, perhaps, of the sea elves?
Gosh, I don't think so.
Wanda, in your sea travels, did you ever come across sea elves?
You're muted, GG.
Oh,
You're asking.
No, not JJ. GG.
GG.
Oh.
You're asking if I've come across sea elves?
Yeah. Do you have history? Can you
Let
do a
me-
history roll?
Sure. I do my best. It's not a good roll, but I'll do it because I'll do anything for you guys.
Oh.
Aww.
Don't make it weird.
What is
Okay, I
with
got him.
Andrew has really cooked the system this time.
I got a 14.
14.
Yeah, that's what I got.
You have similar knowledge to Nimrelia.
Cool. I don't know what her knowledge was. I was taking my sweet baby girl's one loving item away from her.
You've got a very sad puppy right now.
Yeah, she's fine. I gave her one of those quiet chew toys.
Excellent.
Okay, well,
All right, well then let's just we could maybe tie some rocks to our waists with rope and just sink on down, but not too fast.
No, I'm pulling you down as the dolphin,
All right, we'll do that.
right? That was the whole.
Okay.
Yeah. So just hang on to me, and I'll go in a helicopter. I'll go slowly down in a circular pattern to take you.
all right.
I'm already naked.
Been naked this whole time. All right, so you descend. Now it's chilly because it's still like December. So I don't think water breathing gives you. Yeah, it doesn't give you any comfort level underneath the waves.
Oh God!
oh dear.
Dan, you didn't know what you clicked, did you? That reaction was a. Andrew's had it with us.
Wait, I need to see that again.
Apparently you do, but if you do, I think Danny's gonna pop a vessel.
Just tell me what search terms you use.
Oh no! Just look in the chat.
Yeah, you'll see that. You can't unsee that.
Okay.
So you descend. You swim your way down to the seafloor, and it takes a while, but eventually you see what looks to be structures. Should we take a break? Is it break time? We're only playing till 9:30, so
Yeah, no, let's no break. Let's just go straight.
Well, I could use a water refill, and so yeah, I could take a quick.
Yeah, let's
break.
take 5.
Yeah, I like that plan.
Okay.
Cool. I'll be right back.
All right, we'll be back in 5, and I'll do a fireball.
I am dying over here.
are back. All right, so on the sea floor, you spy what appear to be sort of bubbles, but they are made of clay or some kind of seabed. And you get the sense this is what Nim has heard of for how the sea elves live beneath the sea. Their structures are sort of sand given form. And in the distance, you can see there is a phosphorescent glow which provides illumination down here in the depths. And there are you're choking, but you can breathe water, Al. You can breathe water. Approaching you are a number of sea creatures sort of swimming towards you quite quickly, actually.
Time for your magic tongue.
I feel like Nim would put it on Jojo, but I do know that Nim and Jojo have been doing a lot of the talking so far in the session. So if one of the other three of you wants
I'm a
this
dolphin,
opportunity,
so
I mean, well, Glonda, you're good at. Glonda, would you like to take this on? Is this something that intrigues you, so that you get a bit of playtime?
Well,
Tell us.
Persuasion as well, just in case.
Tell us your secrets.
Maybe I'll do Jojo then in the end.
We go on to the magic tongue.
Yeah, you should do JoJo in the end. With
Oh.
your magic tongue.
Oh, God. Norman.
oh my
Okay. Glonda, it is.
Okay, so are we in front of the sea elves right now?
Yeah, you see them approaching. There are 4 seahorses that are being ridden by adult sea elves carrying lances, and they quickly surround you.
How are they reacting to our nudity?
Well, it depends, Norman. How how nude are you? No, they don't seem to pay it any mind. Maybe
Cool.
slightly intrigued at the prospect that you have come here, but whether they are titillated, it doesn't seem to register.
Is it wrong
Well,
for me to
yeah.
assume that Norman is gyrating a little bit as they approach, swiveling
Hey
his
man,
hips? And...
once you go gnome, you want to go home.
I think he's actually shivering, Dan.
Yeah, likely.
It is very
chilly
cool.
down here.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're surrounded by these creatures, these seahorse riding elves, and they point their lances at you and bark at you in Elvish, and it is.
And what does Glonda hear? What are they saying?
So
No,
the spell-
Glonda, you have special sounding now because I gave
All
it to you.
right. Who are you? State your business. Why do you come here? Says the leader of them.
It is I, Captain Glonda. I am usually on a boat above sea level, but now I'm so magical that I'm down here to chat.
You're doing great, Glonda. You're doing great.
Thank you so much.
They look to each other, and their the lances sort of deviate slightly from your direction. They see that you are unarmed and say, "Well, what brings you here? Are you a creature of the land? You don't have any place down here. Only magic will sustain you, and you must be freezing."
I am freezing. Do you happen to have a sweater?
Why don't you come with us? You can join us in our warming structure.
Thank you so much. My friend here is nude. I can't imagine how he feels.
You won't survive long in this temperature. Come with us. So you swim back to the larger of these undersea bubbles, and indeed inside it is remarkably warm. It's still filled completely with water, but it is illuminated by again more of this phosphorescent lichen, and there are a collection of sea elves, undersea elves that are here, and one of them quickly you recognize is Pizraeli, and he chats up a storm to the other folks that
I
are there.
run
And
over to
suddenly,
Pizraeli and I grab him in a big hug and I spin him around. Pizraeli, I've missed you so much.
and he looks at you and says, "Who are you again?"
He got us back. He
The
got-
long con.
I'm just kidding. Joe Jondron, good to see you again. Why do you come here? My goodness.
Talk to Glenda.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Turns to Glonda and says, "Why, Captain Glonda? Why are you here?"
It's a great question. You see, we fought a demon, terrifying. We went back. We fought a kraken, terrifying. We wanted to go. Something fell. We wanted to come check the scene out, see where all this sea stuff is going on. Sorry, it was so squeaky before I missed a lot.
We want to know what their information is on the Sahayoigan.
About Lady Tolliver. If they have any information on Lady Tolliver.
No,
Tolliver,
we don't care about
the
that.
lady.
We don't care.
Heard of her?
That's like
I do.
No, yeah,
I care about her.
that's a secondary issue
Sure,
right
but
now.
I'd like to ask that while we're here.
Are you
No.
still in dolphin form, Tergar?
He's just going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hush, Turgar, you'll have your turn. Listen, we have some lizard folk on land who have informed us that the Sahaugen took their ancestral home. And I want to know if you know anything about this or could help.
Says, "Oh well, a bit above my pay grade about whether we could help or not. But yeah, those Sahaugen, they're no joke. If they've taken over that, I mean, we've heard rumors that they had invaded the Lizard Man territory, but we don't really go that far inland. Although some of our scouts have encountered Sahaugen, and they've had bloody encounters. They are indeed ranging out from wherever they have taken up residence on the coast, and even we are in talks of how we shall respond. But that is why you were greeted the way you were.
Hmm.
Do you have any tips when facing the Sahaugen?
If you can ambush them and kill them quickly, that is the best. Because if they smell blood in the water, they become they go berserk.
That is
They
most
become very
unfortunate.
deadly indeed.
Hmm.
So that is our preferred method if we ever have encounters with them. They are devious, deceitful creatures. They may try and tempt you into some kind of alliance or get your guard down, but that is we have never had positive encounters with them.
That's good
I'm
to know
gonna-
because sometimes we're quite diplomatic, and if they tried to persuade us into being a team, but it was a ruse, that's good to know for us. So thank you so much.
I'm gonna assume Glunda's doing a little bit of like, oh yeah, they're saying this and da, and so I think Nim's just
Yeah.
like, ask them if they know, if they're known to work with octopi. Tell them about the recent attack.
Yes, okay. Remember how I said we fought a kraken?
You did say that. That's remarkable.
Yeah, thank you. Just wondering if you know if the Sahaugen ever, team up with creatures with tentacles.
Cephalopods.
Cephalopods. Arms, not tentacles. Arms. Little suction things anyway, just for. But
Yes.
that guy.
Right.
Thank you,
Says-
Norman.
They have some affinity with sea creatures, but you say this kraken attacked you on shore? I'm assuming you give him some details of the encounter.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy, my dude. Like, there were a bunch of frogs and then a kraken, and we did a lot of fighting in the water and on the shore. And there was a little dock that went all the way through, which gave us a bit more of a chance to stand our ground. I was captured for a bit of it. In fact, I would say the majority of it. I don't think I contributed much to the fight. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not. I may look small and tough, but I'm just small.
Right. He takes all of that.
He's like, sure.
Well, if it was the Sahaugian that did this, and I mean, maybe you should talk to our chieftain. Maybe he has more insight than I do, but it doesn't sound like it would be them, because if it was them, they would be on shore with the creature that they had somehow enslaved or summoned or charmed to do this bidding.
What do they look like?
The Sahaugian?
They look like shark people.
Hmm.
Well, perhaps the shark people were doing to the cephalopod what they had done to the lizard people and were destroying its habitat or pushing it out, and thus it had to attack. Or perhaps they made it go berserk, or... I don't...
Doesn't sound like any
I didn't know.
cephalopod, giant octopus, kraken I've ever heard of. They would normally steer clear of coastal sediments. They would prey on other fish.
Well, then what would be your theory as to why we would have an octopus attack shore? I mean, ask them that, Glonda.
I don't know, but I'm starting to think that maybe if this kind sea elf is telling us it has nothing to do with the Sahagin, it's probably true. Why would a kraken and some big frogs then attack us?
The frog. Okay.
He says, I can only imagine they were summoned and ordered to do so. But
Could that have been the Sahagin?
if it was, it's for a reason I couldn't fathom. Because again, if it was a Sahagin, they would be on land participating in the carnage.
So it could be a different higher power.
Could be.
Glonda, we gotta know if the sea elves would go to battle with us and form an alliance with the lizard people to take back their home.
Okay. But when you say that to me and you whisper it, it's going to be like a bunch of teenage boys in middle school. Be like, okay, shut up. Like, I got this. Like,
By this point, by the way, food and drink have been brought in.
oh my God,
So,
how nice. Thank
Yeah.
you.
well, your friends have
Is it
been-
like it all like
How do we-
eel
is it-
soup?
It is all sea-based, sea creature-based, but delightful nonetheless if you're into that sort of thing. If you have a seafood allergy, though, this is hell for you.
Do
How do
any-
they? Are there beverages or like in sippy cups sealed? Like how do they do that? Or you just drink water around you?
They they just inhale what's around. No, they would be in like little modules, like little globes that you would squeeze into your mouth and ingest that way. That's what I'm gonna say. Or it's magic. I haven't really given this a lot of thought how they would live.
Listen, I think we have a tough battle ahead as we try and approach the Sahagin to ensure that they don't take the town of Saltmarsh, which is what we're really trying to protect right now. We love that town. We love the people within it. And we don't want the fate that had happened to the lizard folk to happen to them. So, with that being said, I think it would be pretty cool if maybe we had a bit of an alliance here and you help us in this upcoming battle that may be taking place with the Sahagin. And I give a persuasive little...
And
Well-
with all important political alliances, if I need to marry somebody to like show our allegiance, I'm 100% willing to do that.
Well, Pizraeli looks to you, and by the way, you don't need. He speaks common, so you don't need to use your. Like he understands exactly what Norman just said, and he says, "Well, I can't speak for the rest of the sea elves. I'm not Chief Pazarkan, but I can tell you that I would gladly fight by your side. After all, you saved my life, and I can certainly put in a good word." Pazarkan is currently out on a hunt right now, but I
Wait, let's
can't.
do him.
Well, he'll be back in a couple of days.
We will wait.
You'll wait. Excellent.
Wait, but how can we breathe underwater for 2 days?
He has a
How?
lot of spells.
Should we go up and then come back down?
You have like an air compartment?
Can I make Lehman's tiny hut has air?
It's the savior of everything.
Yeah. It's the best.
Oh,
Shut up, Pierre.
let's find out.
He says, "I have an idea. Why don't I bring word to you in Saltmarsh after the Council of Elders has met to discuss your proposal? The Sahagin are a concern to us as well, and indeed, an alliance with the town of Saltmarsh might be in everybody's interests. But
and we're incredible fighters. We fought a demon.
I'll bet you
We,
did.
we lost, but
Oh,
Well, one of us died.
And the alliance goes both ways, Pizraeli, because we think that they're going to attack Saltmarsh next, but maybe you're next,
Jesus Christ.
and
Andrew?
we'll come to save you, Pizraeli, if you form this alliance. Do you get what I'm
Does
saying?
Israeli speak Dolphin?
I don't think so,
You're checking. That's so great.
but I will check to see. Let's see, elves.
If you don't form this alliance,
This had better be good.
and the Sahorian go to the Sea Elves, we're not going to be there to help. You're going to be
Using gestures and sounds, you can communicate simple ideas with any beast that has an innate swimming speed. So yeah, he can get the gist of the old dolphin.
So I ask him in Dolphinese, have you seen Lady Tolliver?
Okay. So you have to do that in simple ideas and speech.
Okay, forget it. I'm
Just simple
shape-shifting out because these guys aren't going to ask.
Hold on, I'll ask.
We won't breathe.
Okay.
No, it worked for all of us because
Yeah,
dolphins
yeah.
can't breathe underwater either, funnily enough.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. They look like fish. That's
Yeah,
so
but
crazy.
they ain't fish.
I know, but it's so
Yeah.
crazy because they look just
Sharks are
like a fish.
fish.
They have, like,
Sure.
the tentacles,
And
though,
yet,
right?
Pizraeli is shocked and amazed when Tergar transforms it from a dolphin into Tergar form.
I don't think I have to because I think Jojo just said he's going to ask the question. for me.
Okay, he is not amazed at all then, but he is a little bit curious about how this dolphin is sitting down here for an hour or so and not breathing.
Tergar wants to know about Lady Tolliver, Pizraeli.
Lady Tolliver, who's that?
it's like Oliver with a T in front of it.
Oh, that's how you say it. Okay, perfect. Still don't know who that is. though.
Okay, I'm transforming out of the dolphin. Hello, Pizraeli. It's me. It's Tergar.
Tergar, it's been so long.
It has. I was the dolphin, in case you weren't. As you know, I'm a druid. Anywho, Lady Tolliver was the druid in charge in Saltmarsh. Very noble, beautiful woman. Traveled the seas quite a bit. Was last seen heading towards the Ziggurat in the Far East. I don't know if you know about the Ziggurat. Any druids fit that description in the last few months?
And he says, well, it's a fascinating story you tell, Tergar, but no, we have had no contact with anybody like that. Now, you mentioned this isle to the east where you say there was a ziggurat. Now, there was a great disturbance in the earth that was quite interesting about 6 months ago. And this jives with what you knew about the undersea earthquake. That was sort of the catalyst for all that event. But so he's reiterating what you already know, but he doesn't give you any more information about Lady Tolliver.
Thanks, Pizraeli.
Hope you find what you're looking for. So yeah, I'll bring your message to the Council of Elders, and I'll swim back to Saltmarsh. And if you're not there, I'll leave a message. Maybe hang out for a while. I enjoy hanging with the common folk over there.
Do you guys think I need to intimidate him at all into anything else? Or
No, everything is going well. We're
I think
okay.
you could flex a little and just make them be like, "Whoa!"
Can I flex?
It's
Okay.
particularly intimidating, given that you're not wearing any shirts.
Well,
and
you
stuff.
should roll for it. Really, can you get him
Can
roll?
there be some
I believe you should.
significant shrinkage here too?
There'd be significant triggers in this situation.
No
But I'm flexing
doubt.
a lot.
Oh, natural 20.
A natural 20.
Wow. You pop something, clearly. Well, you describe to me what your stellar flexing display looks like.
I just look like I belong in the water. Like I almost seem phosphorescent and glowing.
An
just
Adonis of the water.
Yes.
Zeus.
And, it's
The
like
locks.
alone.
No. Tried.
Anyway, my pecs have pecs of their own. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Definitely. Yeah, well, they're suitably impressed, and Israeli's like, see, guys, they are heroes. I told you about them. They saved my life. This guy's my friend.
Well, it was great seeing you, Peter, and we'll talk to you next week.
Single tear falls out of his eye and drips out into the water as he.
Was-
Disraeli. But yeah,
Norman
great to
able to get any fun gas bubbles and get a little loopy while we were down there?
Can't see why that wouldn't happen.
I didn't consume any gas bubbles, but you may have seen some gas bubbles.
Oh, I wonder how they keep it so warm. You don't think?
Oh no, it's piss.
We've been drinking.
We're
piss.
in the local toilet.
All right, you ascend back after a fawn for a well. They give you necklaces made of shells to commemorate this friendly meeting, and they're not at all chuffed that you didn't bring them anything because you're heroes.
Oh, I'm giving them my ball bearings and slingshot. I'm taking them out of my thing. I gave that to Israeli.
Right, and Nim will hand over some. She'll give them 2 of the shark teeth of Thousand Tooth.
Ball bearings are out of my, and my sling is gone.
And
Okay, I'm making a note that you don't have ball bearings, and I'll definitely find an occasion where you could have used them. So,
You probably will too.
yeah, it's you feel like you've made a good impression here, and with that, you head back up and are back up in the boat well before your 8 hours expires. When you crest the waters, maybe it takes a little while to actually find the boat because they had to keep moving around. They couldn't drop anchor. But yeah, you eventually connect back with them and get back on board. You are freezing cold. Definitely huddling under some blankets to regain your precious body heat.
Are we in trouble at all?
Joe John, I just let me some of that body heat. Just let me get close to you.
I'll create a bonfire, but that's contained in a bucket so that it doesn't.
No, the body heat's what I really want. Joe John, if just press your body up against mine for
All
a
right,
moment.
I'm going to cuddle with Norman. Anyone else want to join in this little ball here?
Me.
Oh, all right.
Just
Turgar, stay as a dolphin and cuddle.
I'm not a dolphin anymore.
Oh, go back to a dolphin.
There.
Should we
We like
roll
you better
for
when you were-
initiative on
when you were
who's going to be on what side of the spoon?
The spoon order is
Yeah.
important.
Spoon train.
Spoon train.
All right.
All right. I'm going to say that you succeed in not dying of exposure. And
Cute.
Yeah. Where do you want to head to next?
So they said they'd be back in 2 days' time.
Yeah.
Or they would come visit us in 2 days. So in 2 days, let's come to the shore here
Do you
where
want to go check in with the lizard people? in that
totally. I'm just putting a mental note for everyone that in 2 days we come back to this shore.
No, the
Done.
Israeli's going to join you in Saltmarsh.
Can meet us in Saltmarsh.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. We can go do whatever. Just chill.
Okay, so
Or
if
talk to
I-
lizard folk.
So we've offered now this alliance with the sea elves. I guess the next step would be for us to maybe do some reconnaissance where the lizard folk used to live and where the Sahagin are now living. That makes sense? Go.
Nobody is shouting out no, so I'm assuming that everybody agrees.
There were little
We all
nods.
silently nodded. We all
You
did. these
did.
Little
You really
silent
did.
nods.
Everyone did.
All
Okay.
right. Did you want to check in with lizard folk, or are you?
Yeah, I
Just to
think we
have a-
could. I mean, sure. You'd let them fill them in on what's going on, keep them happy.
Okay. So you dock the boat back on the pier, back at Saltmarsh. By that point, it's basically getting on the nighttime, and you're happy to get into some kind of structure that's got heat, so you can warm yourselves up even more. And eventually, two lizard folk join you in, let's say it's one of the bars, one of the taverns in Salt Marsh, but not the Hoofmouth because that place is gross. No, we'll say it's the Flounder Pounder. That's a little bit more outstanding. Still a seedy-looking tavern, but a little bit nicer. And so two lizard folk and Sauriv come in, and all talk stops for a moment, and then they're given a once-over and a grudging acknowledgement and admittance. And they join you, and this is Sauriv, and he introduces Garurt and Vith, the two lizard folk that can accompany you if you wish. And Saugen says, "Here is a map. This is where the compound that we used to have as our home and is now stolen from us by Sahagin. I do not know if they have changed any of the layout, but it is on an island, an estuary of the Javan River, some 50 miles south of Saltmarsh. The coast covers one side of the island, and it's connected to the mainland by a causeway made of stone." He's sort of showing you this on the map. "It is a series of natural passages and caves that honeycomb the interior of the island. It had 3 levels that were inside the island, and we made them our own place. But it seems, and we have had scouts that go by and look, but they never stay long, but it looks like the island seems to have sunk into the sea for some reason, and only the top third is visible from what we see. But the main entrance is now a big cave that faces onto the coast." And a dog is pressing in, trying to get attention.
Yeah. May I ask, with the Sahagin, so we can assume perhaps that your home is now partially underwater.
Yes.
Do the Sahagin fight as well on land as they do in the water? I assume they're fantastic fighters in the water, but are they at a bit of a disadvantage on dry land?
They are formidable fighters on both land and sea.
It might be safe to assume that your home is now partially underwater, if not fully.
Yes, I think that would be the case. I do not know how this would be. I don't know how one can make such a structure descend beneath the waves.
Or could have the waves could have risen. I mean, with climate change, there's a lot of water. Just waiting for Nima to stop me.
Yeah, she's not even. She agrees completely. So, at this point, Anders has wandered in because he's heard that you're back and that you're talking to Sauriv. Says he's been listening in. He says, "So just to reiterate, you don't need to kill any of these people over there. If they're just living their own, lives, then and they don't have any hostile intentions towards us, then we would not wish to start any hostilities.
Even though they have colonized another individual's ancestral home?"
He looks cautiously towards Sauriv and says, "I understand your plight, and I know how I would feel if Saltmarsh were taken from us, but I don't know whether we have the force here to contend with these shark killers that you are mentioning."
So we have the force if they are being nasty, but if they're not being nasty, we don't have the force?
I think you understand what I'm trying to say, yes.
Woof.
There is some political will involved here in convincing the town to intervene. So to that end, we need to know what kind of strength we would be facing here. Oh, by the way, Desiree tells us you're all good looking. So I'm guessing she's watching.
Hi, Des.
We miss you, Des.
It's a different Desiree.
Oh, it must be.
Oh.
It must be.
I closed my laptop.
So, yeah, if you could find out the sort of comportment of their strength. If you were to find any important areas within the fortress, where the warriors were barracked, what kind of supplies they have, if there are any traps, if there are any areas which are kind of defensive and ready for us to blunder into. And most importantly, find out if they're actually looking to mount an invasion. I mean, no disrespect intended, Sauriv, but we have not had the experience with them that you have. Sauriv gives Anders a bit of an eye and says, "No disrespect taken, Solmor. I only wish that you will not meet them as we have."
Doesn't seem so cold-blooded.
Oh, nice.
Solmor, Sauriv, and Sahoygan.
They're all in league together.
Jojo, you're using your outside voice again. I think that. Did you mean for that to be in your head?
Yeah, sir. I'm just saying, flounder pounder.
So with that, Sauriv says, "These two, you can collect them whenever you decide to go. They'll be up at the embassy." And Solmor takes that moment to say, "Yep, so that's good. I think you have everything you need from us. Good luck." And he exits the tavern precipitously. Like maybe it's not his preferred place to be.
I don't know if I trust Anders.
I didn't like his lack of care for another community. I really didn't like it.
He's representing the government. Anders is a good man.
I hope so.
Diplomat.
All right, we're getting close to 9:30. I know that was our
Could
line.
I profit that perhaps during this break we take another we go back. It's night, right? So we finish our meal and head back to our home for another long rest, so I can recoup some hit points, and Brooke and I can regain our spell back.
Yeah,
good.
I can get better portents.
You can get better portents. Exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. And we'll end on our cliffhanger that when you arrive back home, you find that the place has been ransacked.
Ooh.
Gosh, we can't catch a break, gang.
Yeah.
Where's our cute, what's his name? Withers. Jenkins.
Tune in next time to find out whether Jenkins survived the ransacking.
Or was the cause.
Oh, maybe it's an inside man kind of thing. Interesting.
Norman is muted, but he's saying cute stuff.
I'm just saying maybe we shouldn't have tipped him so much.
Maybe it's different.